Greetings, viewers. JLB back with another reaction for another CES. This time, the Las Vegas Winter CES of 1993. This is basically a clip shown on the old television show that's not on anymore called The Computer Chronicles. So that's what I'm going to use to base off this and maybe the 94 CES. Unless I find something else for the 94 CES. But either way, let's get to it.
Computer games may not seem the most important part of the high-tech industry, but because of the never-ending
They are now.
demands of game
Video
hardware
games have
and
become
software,
nearly as big, if not bigger, than movies.
inevitable merger of consumer electronics and computers.
Video game sales amounted to nearly $5 billion last year. Nintendo alone sold over $3 billion worth of game hardware and software. Sega sold close to $1.5 billion worth. So the market for video game products is huge and growing. Sega has jumped on the CD bandwagon with a new Sega CD system that plugs into a Genesis
with the
console.
Sega CD, they said,
Sega
welcome
calls
to the
it
next
virtual
level, because
VCR,
Nintendo didn't have a
the
CD
ability to
drive.
play back compressed video using
Ah, so they're showing off
movie
footage of Night
like
Trap,
scenes.
one of the games that was responsible for the ESRB, the creation of it. Ah, Eco the Dolphin. A friend of mine might like this.
The software automatically determines the skill level of the player and adjusts the gameplay level according to novice, intermediate, or advanced. A company called US Gold was touting CD-ROM quality without the cost of CD-ROM hardware. Flashback, The Quest for Identity, is a cartridge-based game that includes 2,000 frames of animation running at 24 frames
Oh,
per second.
I think this came out for the Super Nintendo.
Live
Flashback.
actors were shot on film, and then the artists hand illustrated the movements.
Oh, so
onto
that's how it
animation
was done.
cells,
Live actors, and then they
converted into computer graphics.
converted what they shot
Newest
into computer
innovation in
graphics.
game
Okay.
input was the Activator. Sega introduced this full-body controller.
Sega Activator.
Ring, which is equipped
So
with infrared sensors that
this was the
communicate
earliest
body movements to the
motion.
game.
The earliest motion
Also
control
showed
with the
off a new
well, next to the power glove.
ergonomically
This was the
controller
earliest
for
motion
heavy
control.
game players. This is the TurboTouch
I mean,
360
before
controller.
the Kinect
No
for the
need to push
360,
down on
there was
direction
that.
buttons and risk
Ah,
repetitive
TurboTouch
screen injury.
360.
With TurboTouch, you just move your fingers
And
touch
a
the
giant
pad to guide
ergonomic
your game
friendly
character.
controller.
The
Companies don't want you to get metacarpal.
innovative solution for owners of older 8-bit Nintendo game consoles. The
The Aladdin
system
Deck
dumps
Enhancer.
game control into one permanent
That and the
cartridge.
Game Genie were considered cheap devices.
Data on the actual game
And
cartridge.
I do not
Result is NES game
like to use
cartridges
cheat
for under
codes.
$20.
But I will if I have to.
Nintendo also launched its most powerful game technology ever using the new Super FX chip.
Ah yes, this was the CES where they debuted Star Fox.
That offers texture mapping,
And
light
the
source shading,
the
object rotation,
Super
and
FX
scaling,
microprocessor,
and 3D polygon
which could
animation.
allow the Super Nintendo to make polygons and make everything rounded, more 3D-ish.
And basically developed that and the game Star Fox at the same time, so they sort of worked off of each other. It's a custom processor which will work with the Super Nintendo, and it can do many different things. Again, as I said, in this game it's used just for the 3D calculations in the polygons. It also does some sprite scaling, which is taking pictures and making them bigger and smaller, which before the Super FX chip was very difficult, or even impossible in most cases.
Star Fox is out now. Nintendo says it expects to release a dozen more Super FX games during 1993. There were lots of new
One of them
computer-based
being
games
Stunt Race
introduced at
FX.
CES. Electronic Arts announced the formation of its new division, EA Kids, to develop edutainment programs for children.
Edutainment. Coined by Walt Disney, never transitioned well to video game form.
Hard paint box. Video Jam is another new title from EA Kids that lets children create and play animations set to music. Both Video Jam and Peter Pan are available for the PC.
That's just weird.
Mac versions are due out soon. iMotion Inc. has pushed the envelope
Ah, the
a step
PC
farther
classic
with
Alone in the
video game
Dark.
graphics with a its new 3D adventure game.
And of course,
Alone in the
1993 was the year
Arc.
the
This is the first game to
Panasonic
have
3DO
real-time
came out,
full-screen
the
animation
world's first
without a
32-bit
CD-ROM.
game system.
The game scenes offer up to 9 different
If
camera
only
positions
people
for viewing the
appreciated it more.
action.
The
American
high
Laser
price
Games showed off its new
didn't really help it.
arcade-style shoot-'em-up game, Mad Dog McCree, which lets you interact with the screen by using a laser-based gun. The software is on CD-ROM. And just like in the movies, sequels is the name of the game in software these days. LucasArts has just released Maniac Mansion 2, The Day of the Tentacle.
Ah, Maniac
LucasArts
Mansion 2,
describes
the
it as
sequel to the
first
classic
completely
Maniac
interactive
Mansion.
cartoon.
Never played it yet, really, but
Up next,
obviously
video,
it was
audio,
pretty
and
pretty
virtual
good.
vision.
Now, that's where we're going to stop right now. So, stay tuned for my reactions to anything I find for the 1994 CES. And I have a feeling there might be more. So, until then, keep gaming. I'll see you all soon. And remember, E3's coming up. So, stay tuned on your computers or what have you, and check it out. See you then.